There's a quiet that comes before the end. Not the silence of absence, but a presence so full it hushes the room. If you've ever sat beside someone nearing death, you know this feeling. The air thickens, words thin out, time loses its sharpness. What's left is a kind of listening that has nothing to do with ears. You start to notice small things. A hand that doesn't reach back, eyes that look through rather than at, a sigh that sounds like surrender. These are the signs. They're not loud, they don't scream, but they're faithful. If you're watching closely, they'll tell you everything you need to know. Death doesn't arrive suddenly, not usually. It circles in slowly, like dusk. For those of us sitting vigil, family, friends, caregivers, it helps to know the language death speaks, because it does speak, if not with words, then with patterns. The body, wise and weathered, begins to withdraw. Systems we took for granted, eating, speaking, even waking, start to shut down in a kind of choreography. Not every person follows the same script, but the signals are surprisingly consistent. This video is meant to help you recognize them, not to alarm you, but to prepare you, to help you meet the moment with as much presence and grace as possible. Sign number 1. Withdrawal from the world. One of the earliest and most consistent signs is withdrawal. Your loved one may stop answering the phone. They might not want visitors, even close ones. Conversations that once brought comfort feel tiring or even irrelevant. This isn't rudeness or depression. It's the soul beginning to turn inward. Think of it as a kind of cocooning. Just as a caterpillar must retreat to transform, so too must the dying begin to untether from the outside world. It's not a rejection, it's a reorientation. Being present for this part means allowing the silence, respecting the distance, and loving them anyway. Sign number 2. Changes in breathing. Breathing becomes its own story at the end of life. You may notice long pauses between breaths, shallow inhalations, or what's known as Cheney-Stokes respiration. Cycles of quickening, then slowing. It can be unsettling to witness. But these patterns often mean the body is preparing to stop altogether. The brain no longer drives the lungs with urgency. Instead, breath comes and goes like waves retreating from shore. If you can, sit nearby, match your breath to theirs. Let each inhale and exhale remind you they are still here, for now. Sign number 3. Coolness and color changes. The body pulls back its energy, prioritizing the core. Hands and feet may grow cold. Skin can look blotchy or take on a bluish hue, especially around the lips and fingernails. These changes are often most visible in the final days or hours. They don't signal pain, they signal transition, a deep letting go. Wrapping a blanket around their shoulders or gently holding a hand can be grounding, but what matters more is your presence. Even now, especially now, touch and quiet companionship carry meaning words cannot. Sign 4. Decreased appetite and thirst. It can be heartbreaking to see someone refuse food or water. We're wired to nourish those we love. But near the end, the body no longer asks for fuel. Digestion slows. Hunger disappears. This is natural. Trying to force food can cause discomfort. Instead, offer sips of water or moisten their lips with a sponge. Speak gently. Let go of meals as medicine. What you're offering now isn't nutrition. It's comfort, dignity, presence. It's okay to simply sit and hold space. That too is feeding the soul. Sign number 5. Unusual alertness or clarity. In some cases, a surprising moment arrives, a sudden burst of energy, a crystal clear conversation, a radiant smile. This brief return of lucidity often occurs hours or a day before death. It can feel like a miracle, a last gift. These moments shouldn't be mistaken for recovery. Instead, they're best received as what they are, a final gathering of self, a touching back into this world before stepping out. If it happens, cherish it. Listen, say what you need to say. Let your love be the last thing they hear. When the body is ready, it begins to slip away. Breathing slows even more. Eyes may open but not see. The jaw relaxes. There may be a single breath that sounds like a sigh, and then nothing, No drama, no explosion, just a profound stillness. Often those present don't realize the moment has passed until a few seconds later. The absence is so gentle, it takes time to register. This is death as it so often is, not violent or loud, but soft and complete. If you're there, hold the silence. Let it speak. To witness death is to be brought into radical presence. We see what matters stripped of everything that doesn't. The signs are not just clinical, they are poetic. They remind us that we are not our schedules, not our emails, not even our plans. We are breath and body and connection. We are love. And in the end, love is the only thing that remains. Learning to see these signs is not about diagnosis. It's about relationship, about being human together, even to the last. If you're watching for these signs, it means you're walking with someone through the last chapter of their life. That's not easy, but it is sacred. You may feel helpless, but your presence matters more than you know. Your quiet hand, your patient waiting, your listening, these are the gifts we all hope for at the end. This is what it means to show up, to love without needing to fix. You're doing it. And that's enough. That's everything. If this video offered you clarity or comfort, we invite you to subscribe. We create thoughtful reflections on death, dying, and what it means to care. Quiet, grounded, and deeply human, meant to help you feel less alone in the hardest moments.